I'm Deborah Smith-Howell, Associate Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs and Dean for Graduate Studies. It is my great pleasure, on behalf of the graduate faculty, to congratulate each of you receiving your graduate degree today. Completing a master's or doctorate degree always requires tremendous resilience and perseverance, which will continue to serve you well in these unprecedented times. I know this is not the ceremony you expected. Regardless of format, it is important that we honor your achievements at this time. Also, please remember that you are invited to participate in our planned December ceremonies. Commencement is one of those unique times when we think about the past, the present, and the future all at the same time. I hope you are thinking about your journey to your degree today, remembering the faculty, fellow students, family, and friends who supported you along the way. I hope you also find a way to celebrate this very moment of achievement and completion. You deserve a celebration. Also, keep looking forward to the journey ahead. The value of a graduate degree is much more than the letters after your name or a document on a wall. It is the intangible collection of personalized experiences, research, skills, and knowledge you have accumulated that empowers you to contribute something greater. This has never been more important. Think back to when you decided to embark on a graduate degree. Remember your motivation and eagerness to challenge yourself. Remember the commitment you made and the determination that drove you. As you move forward, keep that same spirit. Remain motivated. Be passionate in all that you do. Continue to challenge yourself. As individuals with advanced degrees, you have more opportunity than ever to influence and impact the world around us. Some of you will continue your research. Some of you will make your mark in business, nonprofits, or government, while others will make advancements in technology, science, public service, arts and culture, education, and humanities. No matter the discipline, you are and will continue to make a difference in the life of our community, state, and nation. We need your intellect, your experiences, and your passion. You graduate today, but commencement is not really about endings. It is about beginnings. Congratulations, graduates of the University of Nebraska at Omaha. We, the faculty and staff at UNO, are enormously proud of you. Remember, once a Maverick, always a Maverick. Go Mavs. Receiving today his Master of Arts in Sociology, Zachary Christo will speak on behalf of the class of 2020.
Members of the Board of Regents, Chancellor Gold, distinguished faculty, esteemed fellow graduates, and honored family, friends, and guests, congratulations and thank you all for allowing me to speak to you today. I am truly humbled and honored for the opportunity to address the May 2020 graduating class of the University of Nebraska at Omaha. Today is a very special day, and before I get started with my message, I would like to recognize the contributions of everybody who made this day possible. Faculty, staff, administration, family, friends, teachers, coaches, guardians, and mentors. We, the class of 2020, could not have done it without you. So thank you all for all you've done. For me, the years I've spent at UNO have been very impactful on my life. Dr. Oyinlade always says, to learn is to change. And my time at UNO has changed me in many ways. I hope your time here has done the same for you. My experiences as a Maverick have made me into who I am today. In fact, I can say without exaggeration that my studies at UNO have directly contributed to the most important lesson I have ever learned about life. That the way we experience reality as individuals is the direct result of our thoughts, our attitudes, and our outlook on life. In sociology, we talk about something called the Thomas theorem, which essentially says that when humans define a situation as real, the situation becomes real in its consequences. It's similar to the self-fulfilling prophecy, or the old saying, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. In my own life, I've experienced the uncomfortable yet empowering truth inherent in this idea that there are consequences associated not only with our actions, but with our attitude. When I was 12 years old, my family learned that my hero, My dad was diagnosed with a degenerative neurological disorder called Huntington's disease, or HD. Huntington's has been described as a mix between Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's, and ALS. It's hereditary, meaning it's passed on through the genetic code. So I had a 50-50 chance of inheriting the disease myself. There is no cure, so you can't get tested for HD until you're 18 years old. I told myself that as soon as I turned 18, I would go get the test. Well, 18 came and went, and I began to struggle greatly with the decision about getting tested. On one hand, I needed to know about what my future held for my health, my career, my family, my future children. But on the other, I simply wasn't ready to face the music. So, in the meantime, my way of dealing with the uncertainty was to just assume that I had the disease and plan for the worst case scenario. It was a prepare for the worst and hope for the best kind of strategy. When I got a little older and the gravity of the situation really started setting in, I started to feel anxious, depressed, and alone. I became completely immersed in self-pity and fear. Every time I forgot something or lost my train of thought, or if I would stumble, lose my balance, or feel a weird twitch in my extremities, as we all sometimes do, I would think, yep, there it is again, that must be the HD. The future seemed bleak, and it was the most challenging period of my life for my mind, body, and soul. Then one day, I began to feel grateful for this experience. I realized life is worth living with or without the disease, that my experience might someday be useful to others. I finally felt ready. I wasn't afraid anymore. So I set up the appointment and counted down the days. After months of waiting for the results, I sat in front of the doctor with that sealed envelope. This was the moment I had been waiting for, and I was ready for whatever was coming. So I thought. He pulled out the piece of paper, looked at it, and said, "It's negative. You do not have the gene. You will not develop the disease." Needless to say, I was happy, but I was dumbstruck. Something just did not feel right. It didn't make sense. What about all the forgetfulness? What about the times I lost my balance or felt that weird twitch in my arm? What about all the anxiety and depression? If all this wasn't caused by this genetic abnormality that I thought I had, where did it come from? It came from me, my mind, my imagination. As the Thomas theorem stated, I defined the situation as real, and it became real in its consequences. From the age of 12 to summer 2018, I defined my situation in a negative way, and that definition came with negative consequences for my mind, body, and soul. Therefore, the opposite possibility must exist. If we define our situation in a positive way, then that definition will come with positive consequences. So if we want positive outcomes, we must make a conscious effort to help keep a positive outlook and help others around us keep a positive outlook as well. My story is a positive one, not just because I don't have Huntington's disease. My story would be positive with or without the disease, because with the love and support of those around me, I made the decision before I even got tested to write my story in a positive way, no matter what came out of that sealed envelope. Next time you catch yourself catastrophizing or worrying about how something's going to turn out, or whether it's a relationship, the job search, or a question about what to do next in life, remember that when people define a situation as real, the situation becomes real in its consequences. Your attitude is everything. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. So how will you, class of 2020, choose to tell the rest of your story? So with that, one final huge congratulations to the class of 2020 and to everyone who made this day possible. Thank you.